Hey y'all, Erin here. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm a homeschool mama to 3 kids, and I have been homeschooling for about 5-ish years now. And I usually like to do videos on our homeschool life and books that we're interested. And well, I have something to confess. I did not make a goal that I had set for myself earlier this year. I had said my goal is to share videos about once a month, maybe every other month. And well, it's been 4 months. So sorry about that. I am a grace upon grace girl. And so I hope you have grace with me if you have been following along with our journey. So things are already a little bit different. It's been 4 months since my last video. This one will be our winter, our homeschool winter review. And because things are different, I thought I would share 5 things that you may or may not know about me. Number 1, I consider myself an extreme introvert and homebody. I love being at home. Number 2, my favorite hobby is books. Yes, just books. I love researching, I love reading, I love buying, I love collecting, I love talking about, and I love sharing the books we love. So yes, number 2, my favorite hobby is just books. 3, this is one of those things I feel so bad about it, but I just want to be honest with you guys. I just don't love cooking. You know what? I can cook. My family will survive, but it's just not one of my favorite things. And so going along with that theme, number 4, I love going out to eat. Chick-fil-A, yes please. Give me the tacos, burritos, enchiladas, fajitas, chips and guac, yes, thank you. And give me the pastas, and the pasta with chicken, pasta with shrimp, pasta Cajun shrimp, yes, yes, yes. Okay, enough about the food. Number 5, winter and snow is like my least favorite season. I lived in Wyoming for 4 years, and I saw enough snow to last me a lifetime. So snow doesn't do it for me, you know? I just don't love it. But I saw this awesome quote, and it goes like this: if you choose not to find joy in the snow, you will have less joy, but you have the same amount of snow. And that really spoke to me. I saw this quote on a snow day that we had. And so I really was reflecting about that. I like to kind of remind myself that we need to find joy in any kind of situation and circumstance. So I did find some joy this snowy snowy winter for us. I always told my kids my favorite part of the snow was sitting by our fireplace and reading a good book, but that was still finding joy in the snow. My kids also, they really found some joy in the snow too. This was the most snow that they've ever got to remember and experience, so they had a lot of joy in that snow too. So there was a lot of things to be thankful and grateful for. So moving into that, what was our review for our winter season? Jumping right in. Our main curriculum that we use is My Father's World, and we're using World Changers this year. As I have said in my previous videos, but I think it's important to say again, is the biggest thing about our year this year is we're doing a lot together. We're doing our devotions together, history, science, and read alouds all as a family. So we're using that core from World Changers. And I am still using a notebook. I write down my oldest son's stuff here. He's in 4th grade. My daughter, who's in 1st grade, and then my son, he just turned 5, but he's in the pre-K program. All of his things here, and either myself or the kids, we enjoy checking things off to see what we've accomplished and what we have left. So we start off our morning with the devotion, and this is the one that came with the curriculum. And in November, I told you that we were going to start it, and now you can see our bookmark right there. We are more than halfway through, and it has been going great. I do love starting our day out with a devotion, and I love that My Father's World included this one. So this is called God is in Nature, a kid's devotional about his awesome creations. And in the curriculum, I think they have it set up to where read a certain way each day. The way I do it is that I just read the next one as it comes, and I just use my bookmark, and that's easy and works great for us. For history, we are using the Marvelous Museum of Salt and Light, and they have it set up so you are doing history through creation to today. And you are seeing a different person throughout history and how they were a world changer. And I love it. I love this history because it is covering a lot. It's covering people from all over, and it's covering artists and musicians. It's covering preachers and translators and missionaries and doctors, so many different things. We're also going to be talking about athletes. So I love that because God has created us all very unique, and we are given different gifts. So whatever those gifts are, God can use those things for His glory. So the history is just working out. We read about the person in history. We've been doing the torchlighter videos with some of the people. Those are free on YouTube, and they also have, the book basket ideas in the back, so you can read different things throughout the year that supplement those things you're learning about in history. So it's been great. For science, we are still doing these two. These are science, kitchen chemistry, and inventor's workshop. I still kind of flip through and I pick and choose which experiments look most interesting. Like I'm gonna show a picture of one where we did a little toy using motion, which we did things that we had around the house. And then another thing was a marble run, which the kids were like, yes, this is fun and it's science. So there's still a lot of cool things that they have in there. I just kind of pick and choose the ones that work best for us. Now, as I've said, I love books. And so one thing I did to supplement our science was I found these books. They're about $5 each. So this one was Who was Galileo? Who was Isaac Newton? Who was Albert Einstein? Who was George Washington Carver? And who was Marie Curie? And I just read these with my oldest son just to kind of give some more information about kind of the science topics we were learning about and some of the people we were learning about. Then for language arts, we are still using these things. Spelling with Power, we do the pre-test on Monday where I give him the words that we have for the week. Tuesday, he does the Scrabble tiles, practicing putting the letters together. Wednesday, he writes them 3 times each. And then Thursday, he has a spelling test, and it's going great. I do believe that spelling practice like that is very worthwhile and needed. We are using language lessons for today, 4th grade. And I will say the 4th grade does start getting a little bit more intense than the previous year. So you have to write a little bit more. There are more discussion questions. So that's great because each year it should be progressing. So I think it's doing what it needs to do. The next thing I want to talk about is this is what they include for art. It is drawing, and usually I'll just tell Timothy what he needs to do and he will work on it, and then it progresses throughout the year where you need to add more detail, and this is good practice. So that's a good added thing too. In the last video, I was talking about math. He has finished level 3 with the good and the beautiful, and he is now on level 4. Here is our bookmark, so it's going quite well, and I have to say I am loving level 4 for the good and the beautiful. They do something different with level 4. They have videos. So Timothy is essentially doing math on his own. He uses my phone, he does a QR code, he goes to the lesson, he watches the math lesson with the teacher, she explains everything, they do things with it, and then they have independent work, and then later I check it, and I'm like, yes, I love level 4 math, it's going so great. And then the next thing I want to add with him is we are finally on book 5, Saturdays at Sea. I had mentioned this in my previous videos. We had started this in August at the beginning of our school year. So we read Tuesdays at the castle, Wednesdays in the tower, Thursdays with the crown, Fridays with the wizards, and we are on Saturdays at Sea now, and this has been a great book series. This is one we just purely for fun. We just are all as a family enjoying it. It's been a great 5-book series, so we've been enjoying that a lot. Okay, moving on to learning God's story. This is the 1st grade curriculum, and we are in a pretty good flow for that now. So what we do is she has a proverb, every week. And so Monday we talk about it, Tuesday she writes it, and then Wednesday and Thursday we repeat it and practice it. And then we have been going through the books of the Bible. I love this. I'm so glad that this is included in the curriculum because I think this is important. And I think that starting at a young foundational age, they're learning where to find these different books of the Bible, like a quick few words about each book and how it all fits together into the big story. And one thing I would recommend is as you're going through this, on YouTube, you can use the Awana Books of the Bible song, and we sing this together as a family. And so even my littlest one, he is singing along and he's knowing the books of the Bible now too. So I have talked about this so much, but this is really the meat and potatoes of first grade. This is the Bible reader, and this is the Bible notebook, and this ties everything together so beautifully. So you are working so much in the beginning of the year on the phonics and those reading basics, and then now she is doing such a tremendous job of reading through the her own Bible reader, and then after she reads it, she illustrates a picture from the story. So the last one we did was Jonah. This is her illustration. And then we worked together to remember what the story was about. And I will write it out for her and she'll copy it. So then she works on writing with her neatest handwriting. So this has been great. That is such the integral part of learning God's story in the first grade, the Bible reader and the Bible notebook. This is the workbook. So usually you've almost got something in here every single day, whether it is working on phonics, whether it's handwriting, whether it's reading and filling in sentences, whether it's illustrating a story, different things, but this is very important as well. We just finished this. This was Tales from Cherry Lane. This is a My Father's World resource, and they have it broken up into 20 stories. And the first 10 talk about the 10 Commandments, and the last 10 talk about the fruit of the Spirit. And Timothy, my oldest, he did this when he was in first grade, but he actually enjoyed listening to these stories again too. And my youngest would listen because they were interesting stories. So Tales from Cherry Lane was very nice to add. Okay, so we are in the Good and the Beautiful Math level 1, and I like it. It's just working for me, it's working for my kids, it's working for our family. I like the way the lessons are laid out, and I think math can somewhat be intimidating, but they have a good way of making it fun and interesting, and they add different things in there. So it's working for us. For first grade, you do picture card studies. And what I do for picture cards, so they have this scheduled for Tuesdays. And so what I do is I have her choose which one she is interested in. And then, so let's say she chooses this one, and we'll look at it together, and then we will talk about it, and then the back has information about the artist, information about the picture, and then discussion questions. So I love that we start this in first grade, and we use these things that we learned with the picture studies later on in the years too. So it's a good foundation and for her. So I'm enjoying that. I want to talk about the books that we're reading for her. She is still really loving Sophie Mouse. So she got these 2 books for Christmas. She got Sophie Mouse, The Great Bake Off, and The Lightning Bug Light Show. So we read these at nighttime. And then we found these books. These are Lego Disney Princess. She was really interested in these. We read these at nighttime. And we just started the American Girl doll books. And so we did Meet Felicity, and we are on Felicity Learns a Lesson. So as you can see, we kind of do books all throughout the day. We have books with our curriculum. We have books just for fun that we read during the day as a family. And then we have books at nighttime that I kind of specially pick out for each individual child. And these are what she's leaning towards: the Sophie Mouse, the Lego Princesses, and now we're doing American Girl dolls, which she is very much enjoying, and I'm enjoying that as well. And moving on to my pre-K-er. He's doing Voyage of Discovery. I don't really have too much to add. We have a nice rhythm and routine. He does, like I said, the main subjects with us. He sits there with us, but for him, his things usually take maybe about let's say 20, 30 minutes. So we start out on Monday using the Big Thoughts for Little People, and this is kind of, it has the letter we're on, it has a little thing to read, and has discussion questions and a verse. We look at the picture together, point out the things that start with that letter, and then count the ladybugs. And he likes it and looks forward to it, so this is what we do on Mondays. On Tuesdays, what I have him do is I pull out the letter that he's on, so he does a Dapper page on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, he will do the pages in this workbook that have to do with that letter. And then I have the other activities that we do throughout the week too, if he's interested. And if he's not, then no big deal, because he was 4, 5, and I want pre-K to be fun still. He loves this book. This is the Big Book of Things to Spot. We're going through the Crossroads of Character. He enjoys reading through the Margaret Wise Brown Treasury, and this book is still a hit. So I'm gonna let my kids later talk about what their favorite book they're reading right now, and I think he's probably gonna choose that one. We'll see, but he enjoys talking about all the different people and what they do in the community there. And then our last video I talked about the wing feather, and we finally finished the wing feather saga a while ago, but we finished that with this is just me and my oldest son. He really enjoyed the series. And after the 4 books, I can say books 3 and 4 were my favorite, and I can see why it's so popular. It is very good, and it was a joy to read this together. And then just what have we been up to? So for the winter, January, we just really hunkered down. So we did have quite a bit of snow in January. And then we also had some illnesses. So we just hunkered down in January. In February, my youngest son turned 5. So that was fun celebrating him. And we got to do something he had been really wanting to do. So that was special. And we also celebrated our 100 days of school in February, and we had the Grand Prix for our Awana at church, and that's always so fun. The kids enjoyed deciding what their cars would look like and racing them. So we were at church for a big chunk of a Saturday, but it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. And then March, we did a lot of trips in March. We did a couple field trips with our co-op. We did a fire station tour, a police station tour, and then we did just 2 family trips. We went to the Luray Caverns, and then we went and saw the cherry blossoms, and that is always fun. It was super cold the day we went, but that was okay. I'm glad that we went on those adventures together. And if you have made it this far, would you either put a snowflake because you're a winter girly, or a cherry blossom because you are so excited about this spring? And thanks so much for joining me, and I will talk to you next time. Bye. So last time my kids popped on as a surprise to share their favorite books, and they're back again. When you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Evie.
Mm-hmm. And what did you want to share today?
I wanted to show my favorite 2 books we're reading right
Okay,
now.
what are your 2 favorite books
So
we're reading?
my 2 favorite are Felicity and Felicity Learns a Lesson. You already read the first, and we read the second.
Yes, we already finished Meet Felicity. Now we're reading Felicity Learns a Lesson. Why are you enjoying these books?
I don't too much know.
You just enjoy spending time with Mama reading them? Okay.
Because you read them when you were little.
Yes, I
so
did.
So I'm reading them when I'm little.
Yeah, that's special reading them together. Anything else you want to say?
No.
No? All right. Hello. Want to introduce yourself? What's your name?
Titus.
This is Titus, and what are you going to talk about right now?
I want to talk about this book called Saturday at Sea.
Saturdays at Sea?
And we're at the...
That's where we are, right there, about halfway.
Yeah, about halfway.
Why do you like this book?
Because the whole series is
You like the whole series?
Yeah.
Why do you like the whole series?
Because the first one,
Sealy,
well, she didn't know she would have this tower, which is a griffin one.
Yeah.
And then Arkwright, which
he was the bad guy.
Yeah, and he was in so there was Cash in this one.
Yeah, he was the bad guy in that one.
Arkwright,
yeah.
Arkwright, and Arkwright. No, wait, that's not.
Yeah, Arkwright's not in Saturdays at the Sea.
Because Saturday at Sea, so there's these people who want a griffin.
Did they give it to him?
No.
No. You don't just give someone a griffin. You have to earn the griffin's love and respect.
And then this one, so
who's your favorite character?
Sealy.
Why do you like Sealy?
Because she's the main character.
She is the main character, yeah. What about, do you like her siblings? She's got Rolf and Lila and Bran.
The first one, Rolf was not a king. Now he is a king.
Yeah, the mother and father were missing, so her brother, who was older than Sealy, he became the king for just that book. And then,
Mom, could we do more?
More books?
Yeah.
I think let's just talk about this one this time, and the next video you can talk about more books.
Okay.
Do you love doing book time? Okay. And last but not least, we have my oldest son,
Timothy,
what would you like to share today?
The book, My New Name.
Why do you like this book? Why did you choose it? Why do you want to talk about it?
I don't know why I like it.
You just did?
Yeah.
You just read it and you said, I like this story. What happened? Who's this little boy on here?
Leo, and he's orphan. And he went to the Merritt house with a bunch of other kids. And one day they found kittens, and then 2 of the kittens had more kittens. And then there was a kitten fair. And then along the story,
who'd they meet at the kitten fair?
A man named Mr. Sanchez.
Okay.
And later he adopts Leo and a boy named Tony.
That was so cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So in the story, it was about he was adopted twice. So he was adopted first by who?
By God.
How did that happen?
He became a Christian.
So first he was adopted into God's family, and then at the end of the book, he was adopted by
Mr. Sanchez.
Yeah, it was a great story. I really enjoyed it too. Anything else you want to talk about this book?
No, I think that's good.
That's good. You just really enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Cool. I forgot to talk about our My Father's World Read Aloud Pollyanna. What? How many stars would you give this one?
5 stars.
5 stars. What about you? 5. It was so good. I would give Pollyanna 5 stars too. It was the first time I read it, and we read it. We enjoyed it. Then we watched the movie on Disney, and then we compared the two. We talked about how they were similar and how they were different, and what we liked better. And we just definitely loved it. The next book we have is This Is For My Father's World. It is The Mills Family of Entrepreneurs. So we'll be starting that one very soon.
Entrepreneur.
All right, let's say goodbye.
Goodbye.